tell us who Christine is. And I think you understand when I say you need to tell us more about yourself. So it should be a broad, it is a broad question. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members. My name is Kimingui Christine. I'm currently acting Chief Officer, Social Services, Gender and Culture. I'm a master's holder degree in human resource. Currently, I've also worked in the position of a gender advisor in Kakamega County from 2022 to 2024, that is 2022 November to 2024 December 7th. Kimingui Christine has a, like when you look at my educational background, I've inclined on human resource. I have an undergraduate degree in human resource, master's degree in human resource, currently pursuing my PhD in human resource. When you look at my work history, I began as an intern in administrative intern in Cambridge CDC. Then I rose to an office admin at Gertrude's Children's Hospital, that is in 2015 to 2018. Then as I was in Gertrude's Hospital, I was promoted to a HR assistant in 2018. I worked until 2019 when the coronavirus struck Kenya, and then came to farming, where I acted as a HR stroke an SME coordinator in KTL farming. Then from there, that is when I came to the county government of Kakamega, where I began as a gender advisor, Kakamega County. Through my working, that is my working period, I've been working with people, I've been managing people, and most of the time, as an admin, you handle all cadres of people. So through this working space, I've been able to gain skills that have led me to this position and have made me a good candidate for this position. So if you allow me, I'll talk more of, on the recent role before I became an acting chief officer, because the recent role as the gender advisor is what now exposed me and gave me skills that are really relevant for this chief officer's job. So as a gender advisor to the governor of Kakamega County, I was able to interact with the vulnerable, children, people living with disability, and the elderly in the society. For the 2 years that I was there, I was able to contribute to two policies that are being enacted and being implemented in the county. I was also able to champion the campaign against teen pregnancy. As you know, Kakamega County in 2022, we were the second leading county in teen pregnancy, but as we speak, the numbers have gone down. Then lastly, through these initiatives, we were able also to advise the governor accordingly. That helped the governor to come up with affirmative actions. The first affirmative action was to allocate bursary, that is a section, a percentage of the bursary to teen mothers, just to enable them to go back to school. The widows is another group that had been forgotten. For the first time since devolution, Kakamega County celebrated the International Widows Day, and it has brought widows on board in our programs. So we were able also to, I was able to advise the governor to include widows, because as we speak, we have over 200,000 widows across Kakamega County. So this knowledge that I gained within the 2 years are relevant to this position that I'm acting, and I'm very, very much happy that I was nominated for this position. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe you need to tell us if you are you are a member of any professional body. Can you kindly tell us your net worth? Do you have any potential conflicts of interest now that you are going to work in the ministry and it is a department that does a lot of procurement here and there? You need to declare if you have any. Do you have any honors and awards?
One, I was given a for participating and ensuring that Garrett's Hospital was accredited for JCI. Then the second one, I was given the certificate for best performance in 2015 when I was the front office administrator.
Are you affiliated to any political party? Have you ever been convicted in any court? Not yet. Any publications or writings that you have done so far?
One publication.
Maybe any charity work that you have ever engaged in?
The young girl was Felix. Yes. County, the leaders in pregnancy, and also mitigate the GBV.
Okay, maybe you have told us that while you are working as a gender advisor, you championed 2 policies. Can you elaborate the 2 policies that you worked on and they are actually being implemented, not just in terms of paper, but the implementation? Are you the one that you are aware of you implement?
When I came in that is just few weeks, we launched the SGBV policy. Then in 2 years, that is December last year is when we enacted the act. So having the high numbers of teen pregnancy and also GBV cases in Kakamega, we were tasked to engage stakeholders and see how we can implement the SGBV policy. So we could not fully implement the policy without an act. So that is when we sat down again through the collaboration of partners and the Office of the Gender Advisor, the Office of the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Social Services. Together with partners, we sat down and developed the act.
Thank you. Maybe we go to the second question, Honorable Poni Sanga.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Mine is just very short. I've heard you very well. I just want to understand, being that I've been appointed as the Chief Officer for Social Services, Children Services, Gender and Culture, can you give us just an overview roles as a Chief Officer in that department? And I want to be very specific on qualifications and experience that qualifies you to hold that position. And as your answer, I want also to understand. You have just said that you have been advising the governor from 2014, 2024. now in the department from 2024. I want to know, are you the one who advised him to abolish shelter improvement program? And if so, what was your motive behind it? Thank you.
In my advisory, I did not advise the government to abolish the social improvement program because I knew it is one program that touches our people and it was there to help the vulnerable. As we speak, I've mentioned we have 2,000 widows, 200,000 widows, and they were the major beneficiaries of that program. So I think due to budgetary allocation, that is how the program was slowed down. It has not been abolished, but it was slowed down. Then my roles as the Chief Officer, Social Services and Gender, the first one is the resource management. When I talk about resource management, as a Chief Officer, you're in charge of the human resource of the department, you're in charge of the budget for the department, you're in charge also of the assets within the department. So that is one role that is key that I've been handling. Then the second one is planning, coordination, and implementing the programs that promote citizen services, social services, and gender equality. The third one is stakeholder engagement. You know, social services is a department that is inclined to the people, like it's a people's department. So all through, before you implement any program, you have to involve the stakeholders and ensure that their needs are met. So stakeholder engagement is another role that is very key to this position that as an acting chief officer I've been engaging. And the other one is policy implementation and also aligning the ministry policy to the national policy and the community needs. The last one, or the last one, not the least, not the last, is promotion, advocacy, and awareness session of the programs that are run in the department. As you understand, you must be doing so much, but people out there, the community that you are serving might not know. In social services, we have programs that touch the common humanity on the ground. That is when you come to the shelter improvement program, the grants, when you come to helping the disabled. So if you don't create awareness, if you don't communicate, you might have good intentions, but the people might not know what the government has in store for them. Thank you.
Are you okay?
Yeah, Chair, I'm okay. But I just want her to tell us, most of the times I've seen chief officers fighting with CCs. Can you tell us the cause why they just fight instead of serving the people for Kakamega? And then lastly on that, on the issue of your role on implementation, I have not heard it coming out clearly. Thank you.
The chief officer reports to the CC. The role of the CC is the policy maker for the department. The chief officer is the implementer of the policy. So I think the conflict in roles is what has caused that promotion between the chief officers and the CC. And in any relationship, without good communication, without proper structures, or as people assuming the other person's role is what causes the friction. Then for the implementation part, being the custodian.
Maybe before, as you continue, I would just like you to elaborate on these conflicting roles that you are talking about that causes the friction between the chief officer and the CCs. Which are these conflicting roles? Maybe you elaborate for members to understand.
Now, through the chair, as you answer, now that we know that the role you are taking, the CEC and you are all millennials. So as you answer based on that.
When it comes to the role of a policymaker is she or he is the decision or the person who shows the department the direction. For example, as a department, we are given the mandate to ensure that we handle children issues, gender issues, and culture issues. So the CEC will give the direction, then the chief officer will implement. During implementation is when now you come up, he will say, we want to do programs inclined to protection of children. We want to do programs that are going to empower women. We want to do programs that are going to open up our culture. So the chief officer is the one who is supposed to come up with a budget. You are supposed to coordinate the directors and the staff below you to ensure that the programs are running. Then you report to the CEC. So when the CEC of steps and comes down to the directors to implement and to come up with the budgets and everything, he is stepping on the role of the chief officer. When the chief officer goes ahead and starts giving the direction of the department, saying that we want to do this program, we want to do this, we want to do this, that is when now the conflict comes in. So, for Amos, both of us are millennials, and being millennials, we come with an advantage. Right now, when you look at the population of Kenya and Africa in general, the youth are the majority. So we understand what the community wants. Being a department that is a people's department, we relate to the needs of the people out there. So when we are coming up with the programs, there are programs that are going directly meet and also meet the need of the community.
Thank you for answering that. But before we proceed to the third question, maybe as the chief officer who is coming in, if this committee approves you as a chief officer, what are the strategies that we're going to employ just to address the issue that you said on issues conflicting interest? What are the strategies that we're going to employ to ensure that these things does not occur in the ministry?
Communication, that is ensuring that as a ministry we hold weekly meetings. Those weekly meetings will be able to update and appraise both the minister and now me as the chief officer on what is going on the department, and also to ensure that there is no conflict between the CEC and the chief officer. I will be able to ensure that I work on the programs that the CEC has given. Once the CEC has given a directive and the directive aligns to the ADP and the manifesto of the governor and the CIDP, I'll be able to work on it and coordinate with her.
Thank you. So your main strategy is proper communication and adhering to the CIDP, the ADP. Thank you. Now we go to the third question. Honorable Doris, probably.
Thank you, Chair. We understand that the county government consists of two arms. Would you kindly elaborate the functions of each of the arm in relation to the fourth schedule and how they relate?
And the legislative arm. So the executive arm is led by the governor, and the main functions of the executive arm, the first one is to implement and execute the county programs. The second one is to manage the resources of the county. The third one is to come up with policies and forward to the legislative arm. So for the legislative arm, it is led by the Speaker, and it's an arm that represents the people. It's an arm that does like what you're doing today. It vets the appointees of the governor. It also oversees and gives oversight to the executive, whom after approving their budgets, because the budgets are made by the executives but approved by the county assembly. And once it is approved by the county assembly, they also oversight for accountability. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, there's one part of the question that has not been tackled. How do these two arms relate?
Both the two arms are in charge of ensuring the county government runs. So the two arms, the first arm, the executive arm, is in charge of resource management and ensuring that they implement the program for the people. The second arm is in charge of oversighting the first arm to ensure that the resources that have been allocated to the county are being used in the manner that was supposed to, and also accountability back to the people to tell them that this is what the county government is doing, and this is what is supposed to be done, and it is done well.
Thank you for that. The next question, Honorable Amos.
Thank you, Chair. In case you will be successful, what will be your main priority in the Department of Social Services, Children's Services, Gender and Culture, in case you are given an opportunity to serve the people of Kakamega?
I succeed, I'll have priority in every directorate. So my first priority in the cultural department. So far, Kakamega is very rich in culture, and we've not been able to exploit that area. So the first thing I'll do, I'll want to open up the culture. We have so much. We are the only county with the kingdom in Kenya. I'll want the kingdom to be listed in the World Heritage. I'll want our culture, that is the Isukuti bullfighting, also to be featured. I will want the county to hold the annual cultural festival just to celebrate our county, and also bring on board, we have members like the herbalists, whom we've not impressed. We have, like as we speak right now, we have 14 assets, the medical assets that are in the final stages of testing with NPI. We've collaborated with NPI. So I'll want us to embrace this sector, because I know once we embrace the cash flows.
Maybe as you continue, members will want to know what is NPI.
Institute of National Primate. Institute of National Primate. I'll be able to check. Sorry. So I'll revert once I confirm.
Proceed.
So we have this asset to be devolved. 60% is still in the national government, then 40% in the county government. Kakamega County right now, we are having emerging trends. We are having high rates of child labor. We are having very many street children in both our municipality, that is the major municipalities, Mumias and Kakamega. And we are also having a challenge in GBV cases where our children are being defiled. So I would want to come up with a very vibrant campaign and also involve the members of the county assembly, because you are the representative of the people and you are the voice of the people. So in this campaign, we want to come up strongly and protect and share out the rights of the children, and also protect them from harm. Then when it comes to gender, This is a department that is trying, but it can do better. For the gender, as I said, we have this section that was left out, the widows. So I'll want us to come to have an all-round gender policy that is going to bring all the people on board. Like we have the widows, we have women living with HIV who have come out strongly, and we also have women who are also struggling because it's the largest rural county, and women tend to fend for the families. So I want us to come up with a gender policy that will be able to help us empower women. Then lastly, when it comes to social services, under social services, I want us to also, like we have the Disability Act, and it is somehow being misused. So I'll want us to update it to the current national 2025 Act, and also be able to sensitize the whole county and bring, because we don't have many people who are disabled. From the census that we held in 2023, there are around 19,800 disabled households. So this is a number that we can manage. So I want to bring these people on board, sensitize them, tell them the opportunities that they have, and also help them to access those opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When making this policy, please make sure it cuts across, not women alone. Even men nowadays are being battered by their wives. The boy child is marginalized too. So make policies that let us not talk about women alone. Let us talk about it cuts across every gender. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe.
Before you move, I've heard the nominee putting very well on the priorities of Department of Culture. She has been that department now for one financial year. What has she done within that year in the Department of Culture? Because when she speaks of the kingdom, she's speaking into my heart. But what have you done in the 1 year up in the office?
With the chair also. You've said on children's services, there is defilements going on. Just a follow-up to my colleague's question. As up to now, do you think the percentage of those cases has gone up or they have decreased?
Maybe
Before you ask her to answer, I also was very keen on this issue of early pregnancies. I don't know why this follows. I live in this town, and I've been seeing, I've been heard that you have heard that all, not all, but I can say most all, insane female people that have been pregnanted. What effort will you make to ensure that this cannot happen in town?
For little bit Oside. Then in this what I've done in the department, when I came in, I think after 2 weeks, that is when we took the 14 herbal medicines for testing. Then the other thing that we've done, we are preparing also for the cultural conference that will be held in Kilifi. We are working with the National Museum, and at that one we are going to showcase 60. We've listed 68 assets actually, but we are going to showcase 8 assets. Also, as we speak, 3 weeks ago, we were able to strike a deal with Kenya Bureau of Standards, where one of our assets, that is the Nominee, was taken for testing, and we are hopeful once it is tested na itoke vizuri, we are sure we are going now to expand production, and we'll be able to help our people. When it comes to, we've been doing engagements with the herbalists who have come on board. They want us to help them register an association for Kakamega. And lastly, the bullfighting. We've had so far 2 sessions, the premier ones that the governor is doing, and we are in communication with the sports department. We want to premiere it, and we also want to call on board other stakeholders to come and help us showcase it. Then when it comes to the our women who are insane, who are being impregnated, for sure, I also had the interview that was on the radio, but you understand, we have both sex on the streets. So, and we have street families. So we can't rule out that the people who are impregnating the women on the streets and the insane are not the men who are on the streets. But we are working to ensure that we reintegrate. First of all, we reintegrate all the street children and the people who are living on the street back to the family. And we also, because you see, these are people who need to consent for us to give them family planning and also for us to move them. So that is another option that we are working on, and we are thinking if we can bring them on board, help them psychosocially, and also engage with the health department to give them family planning. We can seeing the figures going down, but we are not yet at that level that we can say we are doing well. Defilement is still there. When you compare 2023, when we had a lot of cases, every time you could hear defilement, that is Kakamega. But right now, the numbers are down.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's move to the next question. Honorable Atito.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, Chief. Are you aware about gender-based violence policy? If so, how do you plan to ensure its implementation, considering the high cases of gender-based violence?
But we've not disseminated it fully. So the awareness creation and also sharing it with the relevant stakeholder is very key. Then the other thing is coming up with a vibrant gender sector working group, because when we talk about SGBV, it is an issue that cuts across. We have the national government actors, we have the county government actors, we have the NGOs, we have the civil society that is also working on the same. So once we have a vibrant gender sector working group that can be reporting on a quarterly basis, it will also help us to disseminate this policy and also help us to reduce these numbers. Then the other thing is to strengthen, actually where we are, the rain is beating us on this policy implementation is on the justice system. Like we've really tried, meaning when I say we've really tried, because I've been in the system as a gender advisor and acting chief officer, like there are some measures that have already been started whereby both the national government, the stakeholders, the actors in this space are pushing so hard to ensure that the cases nenda mpaka mwisho. So the only challenge that we are having is the justice system, which takes long. Because when you have cases being reported of defilement, rape, and the abuse in general, most of the cases end up in kangaroo courts and not in the main court, because it takes too long for the system to do what? To get justice. So that is another area that we'll want to come out strongly and advocate for change.
Thank you. Thank you for that elaborate answer, we move to the next question. The next question. Honorable Sam.
Okay, thank you, Chair. This is my question. How do you intend to improve cultural centers and the culture of Kakamega people and the culture of the people of Kakamega County, considering that they form part of tourist attraction and source of revenue? Further, Hayeka and Shembeho art galleries are not serious up and running. How do you intend to revive them among others?
Thank you. When it comes to culture, as I stated earlier, it is an area that has not been well exploited. It has very, very big potential. So the first intervention that is already ongoing, we've partnered with the national government, that is the museum, under the program called DODI, Documentation of Indigenous Knowledge, whereby we've been able to list 68 indigenous assets. We've brought on board our cultural elders, because now, you know, when you get out there and list the assets, you also have the custodians. You can't sell or you can't even advertise any cultural asset without involving the elders. So we've brought on board the elders, we've brought on board experts, and we are working with the National Museum. We've already identified 68, and we are preparing for the November conference, whereby out of the 68 we have 8 which we are going to showcase. Among them we have the Mayo, that is the bullfighting. We have the Kienyeji Kuku, the Ngoho. We have our Isukuti. We have the Siembeho. We have Munyo Mfume. We have our poultry, that is Bulonji, and the other 3. So we are on the track to ensure that we also do what we also list them out. As we speak, 2 weeks ago, we had a team from UNESCO who have helped us, and we are hopeful the program will go to the end. We want to enlist 3 of our assets, that is the Kakamega Forest, the Isukuti, and the Wanga Kingdom, as World Heritage. And once we list them as World Heritage, we will be able to showcase them. Tourists will come to see what is happening. We've enhanced, we are working closely with the Department of Tourism, whereby we've also come up, we are sharing these assets, and they are coming up to commercialize now the assets. So we've even had places like Mawetatu. We've had the Momonyonzo Dam coming on board strongly, just to ensure that we have those cultural sites up there.
Honorable Sanga.
I think she was asking, but anyhow, I can just add mine on what you were just mentioning. A crying stone, is it a cultural center? A cultural center, or it is a tourism center? And if it's a cultural center, what are you doing? Because I've heard that nowadays it is not crying. It's not crying as it used to be. What can you do to make it continue crying literally? Thank you.
But the cultural assets are what now brings the tourists. Now, like when we talk about tourism, it becomes tourist centers. But when you come to culture, there are cultural sites. For the crying stone is one of our listed items, and the land that the crying stone lies on is not ours. So we are in the process of acquiring the land. Once we acquire the land, we'll be able to drill the water and ensure that the crying stone continues to cry.
Maybe you may be misguiding us. How will you make the crying stone cry? I believe it was a natural thing whereby probably the area surrounding there, it had trees that were making maybe draining water, and probably draining of water may not even make it more culturally. I think it will be artificial. It won't be nature.
Then when it comes to the art gallery and equipping them, yes, we have the Haega Art Gallery that we are working on. In this year's budget, we are looking forward to start equipping it with our artifacts. And also, recently you saw we had some positions that were advertised, and one of the positions we had the cultural officer. So we are hopeful that we are going to equip it and also have someone who will man the center.
Thank you. Because you have been in the ministry for 1 year in the acting capacity, and we have visited Kaega Gallery, Art Gallery there, and we just find a few of pots just in a corner, and the whole building is just wasted. So if this committee finds you suitable, we wouldn't want to find that thing again in that manner. We should find it in a different category, whereby now people can be able to go there and find their culture in Kaega Art Gallery. It is very beautiful building, but unused, and that is waste of county resources. It is not good and proper use of our resources. Next question, Honorable Victory.
Sorry. Now that you are very soon you are becoming the incoming CEO, chief officer, tell us supposing there's an outcry on the recruitment process of the county youth service across the country. Tell us, what strategy would you propose to address the recruitment process?
Maybe just to clarify, you have heard there's an issue whenever there is a recruitment in this county, and there is usually no regional balance, even maybe ward terms of maybe balancing. If this committee finds you suitable, will this outcry reduce, or are you going to do something that is different from what has been happening, so that we see a regional balance in terms of recruitment, and also choosing the right age? You know, you choose people, you say this is the age is between this and that, but when it comes to the people who are selected, you find they are way beyond the age that was actually proposed. So maybe just in brief.
Program is geared towards empowerment of our youth, and the target is for the youth who are unemployed and they don't have the tertiary skills. So one thing you like in this category, there are so many people who want this job. So it is I don't know the best term that I can put it, but it's a competitive position, and it's a good program that the county envisioned to empower the youth. So one thing that I will do different is first of all to involve the stakeholders. Then the second one is to ensure, first of all, while doing the recruitment, to ensure you normally ring fence those slots. So you ring fence and ensure that every location, not just every ward, every location has a representation. So it is more of coming up with a guideline that will ring fence all these positions to the lowest possible level. Once I've ring-fenced is also to come up with a robust recruitment measures. We can there is a system that has been proposed. That is an online system that doesn't have many, that will not allow more of changes. but also the involvement of the members of the county, that is the MCAs in that area, the leaders also from that area, and the oversight, just to ensure that there are people, the rightful people have been selected for that job, and the rightful people are placed in the rightful place.
Thank you for responding, and maybe something that I'll be able to ask you one time when I'll be looking at the implementation. Maybe if this committee finds you favorable for this position, you have stated that you'll be able to ring-fence these jobs per ward. So we'll be looking at it at that particular time and ask you questions. You said that you'll be able to ring-fence some of these jobs that each ward should be able to have for the purpose of regional balance. So we'll be looking forward for that. Thank you. Maybe if any member has an issue, so that I make my final remark.
Chair, you've answered your question so well, but I've been going through your CV, and you have had 3 referees, at least 3. I don't know what prompted you to have the First Lady as your referee.
For the last 2 years, I've worked closely with her. And when you're giving references, you need to give references of the people whom you've worked closely. Like it's always good to give the references of people whom you've worked closely for the 5 years, the current 5 years. I mean, as long as they, like the within that 5-year period.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, time.
Chair, through Chair, may I ask our nominee, are you married or you are single, still searching?
Thank you for asking, because you know she's a person who is supposed to take care of our ministry, and you know that comes with a responsibility. And it is also good for honorable members to know that you are taken and you are a wife and a mother, probably. So maybe if you can have something to say for us before I make my final remark as we close this process.
By appreciating the committee, you've made the whole session calm, and you've been generous to me. Then I thank you for the time that you've given me to answer this question, and also just allowing me to come before this committee. I also want to thank our governor, that is His Excellency FCA Fernandez Barazas, for nominating me for this position, and generally thanks to God for giving us an opportunity even to be here.
Thank you. Mine is just to wish you well, and if this committee considers you for this position, probably they've been giving their own remarks wherever they are. If at all you'll be able to be considered for this job, I would urge that you take this committee and the work that you are going to be given very serious, and ensure that everything that pertains the development and things that touch our common mwananchi are done with kind of respect, and ensuring that the agenda of His Excellency FCPF Fernandez Baraza are achieved in the manner that it is desired. We would also wish that as you go back, and if this committee finds you eligible for this position, I would wish that you go work harmoniously with your people. Teamwork is always the best. Teamwork is always what makes the company or the organization strong, and I would wish you all the best. Thank you, members. Thank you, the nominee. You may leave. Thank you.